Alex Stewart of Surrey and England. There's been a bit of a question mark over his form with the bat recently, and of course he is a master of all trades for England. Is he really the kind of leader they need, do you think, Tony?
Yeah, well, he's got all the experience, he's got the pedigree. I get the feeling, just watching him yesterday, that he's a bit tense. It'll be interesting when we watch him eventually go out and spin the coin. What now? I mean, that's a big one. You know, should he play Fraser? And he's going to be involved in all that stuff. I think you'll find he's going to be tense at the beginning.
All right, just quickly, is he as good a batsman as they all seem to think he is?
Well, surely is a class act, and England will require him to get off to a good start, because opening in England will be vital for all the teams, and they'll be hoping that he can get a few runs.
Thanks very much, Rameez. It's time for a break. Admittedly rather dark clouds over Lords. Well, that's going to help out, Tony. You'll get to see the fireworks clearly. Let's just hope that we do get some on-pitch cricketing fireworks later on. I don't think I've ever seen fireworks on the pitch at Lords. Very different these days, isn't it?
Things are changing, aren't they, here at Lords? Yes, a lot of smoke around, I suppose. I suppose that's understandable. I suppose it might affect the swinging ball as well. Hopefully not too much. But it's a great scene. The players are all out in the balcony. They're obviously in no hurry out there.
But it certainly promises to be a very close tournament, this. I can tell you that the odds in London were certainly that South Africa and Australia will dominate. There's the Bangladesh flag. Wonderful to have them in their first ever World Cup after winning the ICC Associate Members Trophy. They are really in good form. Caught up with the Bangladeshis recently, and they're looking forward to this tournament so much. India, they're quoted by the bookies as being quite a long way out in the odds, 10-1 I think, which is a big surprise. Sri Lanka too, a long way out in the odds. You have to say that really anyone on their day has a chance here. England expects, there's been a bit of talk in the country that maybe a lot of the eyes have been on football and other sports, but I can assure you that the newspapers this morning dominated by cricket. There is the Pakistani flag. Rameez has a tear in his eye as we prepare to get this underway. And there's the Scottish flag, Tony.
Yeah, well, that's a bit of a favourite of mine, actually. My dad's a Scot, so I'd love to see them knock someone off at some stage along the line.
We can but hope, I suppose, Tony. Or would I say dream, maybe. The South Africans, they are the favourites. The Green Machine really are going to be quite something. The West Indies, well, you take a punt on them, Rameez, I don't know.
I think they played well against the Australians recently, and they look a very good team under Brian Lara, who's really scoring runs and playing well. So that'll be a force to reckon with.
Zimbabwe, they could be an outside hope. And here we are, the Sri Lankans proudly unfurling their flag. There they are, Duleep Mendes standing in the middle of your pictures there with the rest of his team. They are very, very serious about this. You know, a lot of people have been, I wouldn't say writing them off, but certainly overlooking the Sri Lankans ahead of this match against England, whose flag, the cross of St George, has just been unfurled out on the outfield. The pitch looks a treat, as we have to keep reminding you, let's just hope the rain stays away. Darren Gough filming it for his kids at home. He says that he's dragged out to play cricket every time he gets home from a long tour, as Darren Gough, but a wonderful fella. There is the Commonwealth flag. That's the last of them to be unfurled, and last seen at the Commonwealth Games in Kuala Lumpur. Well, it's a colourful setting, Tony, and I think we have to say that it really is going to be unlike anything we've seen before in a World Cup. This really is spectacular. They've all been different, they've all been very, very colourful in their own way. The World Cup trophy is being carried out there, and that really is a quite magnificent trophy for a tournament such as this. I can tell you that there's actually £27,000 worth of trophy being carried by these two young men. It weighs 11 kilos and is really quite spectacular. Total prize money for the tournament is $1 million US. That's the highest ever offered in a World Cup tournament. Wouldn't have minded getting near that one, Tony, would you?
Forget about all that. All that stuff. You know what really matters about that trophy? I think the dreams that captains have got. There'll be a few of them, I'm sure, would have had a little dream at some stage about putting their hands around that at the end of the day, because that's what they're really playing for here, aren't they? At the end of the day, the team that's going to get to touch that one in the final. All the gold, all the weight and everything else. That is a very, very special trophy, and as it stands at the moment, the most coveted trophy in the game of cricket.
You have to put some serious time in the gym in, I think, to be able to lift that one as well. That's almost up with the Stanley Cup, that one. Well, England, there's going to be some real nerves in there, because obviously they're in front of their home crowd. huge expectation. You wouldn't have thought so with Andy Flintoff there, just looking as if he's having his ear pierced by Neil Fairbrother, two of the more bubbly customers in that team and also in the Lancashire team. Ramiz, if I could just bring you in on this one, that trophy, it really does mean an awful lot, doesn't it?
Yes, it does mean a lot. When we carried it back home in '92, it meant a lot to the players, to the game of cricket in Pakistan. It really grew. And I think it's important, and I'm sure England will be hoping to take it, because the game of cricket in England need an impetus, and nothing better than really picking the trophy and just, you know, spreading the game all over England.
Well, there we have the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Tony Blair, who is arriving with Tony Lewis, the President of the MCC. We can see Lord Maclaurin and Jagmohan Dalmia of the ICC in the background. Here's Tony Blair.
The first World Cup was back in 1975, and it was a great victory, I think, by West Indies over Australia. In fact, my memory serves me right, it was Roy Fredericks who hooked the first ball for 6 and Clive Lloyd who scored a century. And we hope that over these next few weeks, in all the matches in England and Scotland and Ireland and indeed the Netherlands, we're going to have new heroes, new records broken, and fantastic cricket for everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a tremendous pleasure to open the 7th World Cup here at Lord's, the home of cricket. I wish everyone the very best. I know it's going to be a tremendous tournament, and let this tremendous carnival of cricket now begin. Thank you. Thank you, Prime Minister, and thank you to all those involved in this opening ceremony, the children from Highgate School, Finchley Catholic
Well, that was
School,
the Prime Minister, and it's all smiles as Tony Blair leaves in the company of Lord Maclaurin, Jagmohan Dalmia and Tony Lewis. Up go the balloons from these large white balls. Not much of a seam on that ball, Tony, but that would probably do a lot in these conditions as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think the batsmen wouldn't mind those too much. Yeah, this is a wonderful occasion. Big occasion there for Jagmohan Dalmia as well. You know, he's the first from the subcontinent to be in this position on a big day like today. It'll be a big moment for him. But just hoping that the rain will clear. Perhaps the balloons will help.
They might too. It's been very changeable over the last few days. We've been watching a very busy round of warm-up matches featuring all of the World Cup '99 contenders taking on county opposition. Virtually all of them were in some way